So the second little reflection that I wanted to draw our attention to is the use of language, of words on our journey together. I recall Maya Angelou said, "The thing to do, it seems to me, is to prepare yourself so that you can be a rainbow in somebody else's cloud. Somebody who may not look like you, may not call God the same name you call God, if they call God at all. I may not dance your dance or speak your language, but be a blessing to somebody." That's what I think. Maya Angelou. Words, like cars on a freight train, carry many of the assumptions and prejudices, longings, fears, hopes, and dreams of our lives. Now is a time, this time of disruption, to notice the words we use and reflect on the intellectual, spiritual, emotional freight that they carry. In our life, our vocabulary really is limited to our worldview, to our experience. We're going to be talking about that on this first part of the journey. I remember when I was a kid, the saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. That's just false, right? Words can be harmful because they carry so much freight and they can do so much damage. So on this journey together, we will discover new words, indeed a whole new vocabulary perhaps, as we venture from the ordinary world or the story of our lives, our particular story that is shaped by our particular worldview, that we discover is too small to hold the unfolding reality that's coming like a wave over us. From the place where words are often just a boring rehearsal of our particular point of view, a rehearsal of the past. We're stepping into the emerging future together. So we need to pay attention to the words we use. We will journey together from the confining place where words often hold a sense of certainty and finality to a place where language itself deepens into a field of silence, a holding place where we may hear anew the whispers of each other's souls, perhaps the whispers of the angels. I am a person who have lived with words. I've been a Presbyterian minister for many, many years, pastor for 33 years, I guess it has been. And so I've struggled with language and words. I once wrote a poem that spoke to this struggle, and I'd like to share that with you now. Words, words, words. Like walking through a muddy field, each step requires extraordinary effort. With languishing sound, the worn old boot pulls up from the muck. Sucking, slurping like dirt and water, the muck, a mixture of fine, comfortable words, good intentions, and faith. This mired path meanders to the field of freedom between the rock of beginnings and the infinite horizon. I want to take off my boots and run with reckless abandon toward that distant clearing where words are few and when spoken shimmer with a luminescent transparency, settling gently into the soul's hearing. So I just want us to be aware of the language. We're coming from different traditions. Some may be people of a faith tradition. Some may have more kind of a humanistic orientation. I invite you to look at the homepage of the Allies website, where we talk about what we mean by the different words that we use. What do we mean by journey? What do we mean by allies? What do we mean by resilience? What do we mean by disruption? And what do we mean by God? I love the saying in Buddhism, don't confuse the finger with the moon. Don't confuse the words that we use to describe the ineffable, really, that largest, greatest mystery and reality that we long for and point to. Don't confuse the words that we use or ideas about that with the reality itself. So anyway, my invitation is, use the words that are familiar to you, but also recognize that we may use different words. It's okay. Let's hold it all lightly. And I love one of our agreements on the journey is to presume positive intent. We're all here walking each other home. We're all here wanting to be helpful. And so let's just be aware that it's okay to use different kind of languages. But let's also have a posture of humility. In the book that I wrote, Sabbath Pause, some years ago, at each little section there's a breath prayer. And I'd like to offer a breath prayer now. Perhaps you would just pause for a moment to breathe with me. Just breathing in with the words, may my words, and breathing out, be kind and generous. Breathing in, may my words be kind and generous. Thank you.